Hi guys, Frank Aldridge from the Integral Group again. Hey look, this is our question for the month. We haven't had one for a couple of months, so that's a slap on the wrist for us, but we thought rather than a question for the month is we've made a little development in the last probably 3 or 4 weeks that we'd like to share with you. And so if we go back to the Right Track workshop, one of the techniques in there, so remember all those things we do in the Right Track workshop, so the background, the objectives, the stakeholder analysis, the risk analysis, and then the trickiest one to facilitate is the needs and wants analysis. So I was doing a workshop with some clients the other day, and it was around a system sort of thing, and I knew it was going to be hard to get out of them what they really needed and wanted. So what was coming out in the discussion was a whole lot of stuff they didn't want. So what I thought I'd do, and so basically I set it up on right there and then and gave it a go, and it's worked really well. So what we do for a start is, again, we've got to reiterate why we do this needs and wants analysis, and the reason we do it is it's in a tender process. It is it's to set up our evaluation criteria. In a normal project, it's just to work out what's important and what's more important than other stuff. But we'll pick on an example out of a tender process because it's easier to understand. But so the thing is, those will become our evaluation criteria. That'll become our questions. People will respond to that. We'll evaluate against them. Ultimately, to pick a winner and set up a contract. But the key is this is the foundation for all of that. So what I find is it's the hardest bit to facilitate normally. So, and it's certainly the hardest piece to train. So what we're doing now is we're saying to them, righto, hey look, and I'll work off this one, just using our typical flip chart techniques. First of all, what don't you want? And so this is out of a real one we did the other day, but so there's a number of things that come up, what they don't want. And in this case, we had 3 of these going because we had a group of about a dozen people. So then, hey, what do you want? And so sometimes not knowing what they don't want helps them clarify what they do want. So that's the theory. It seems to be working pretty well. Then we do the normal thing of, righto, shuffle them around the groups, and they go around the groups and they look at each other's and they get a bit more ideas, and out of that flushes out what we're looking for. But while they're doing that, I'll set up another, typically on a whiteboard if I can, but if I can't, on a flip chart, and then I can say, hey look, what I'm gleaning out of what you've got going on is this. So this one was about culture, it was about proven track record. This is a large project and it's got some very special aspects to it. The normal stuff, financially viable, they've got the right insurance, and they've got the people and those sort of things. But what is really good about this way is that I can control this a whole lot better. I can be looking at what, A, I think they should be coming up with, but B, I'm getting the ideas out of there, condensing it down, getting it a bit more clear. And so where we go from there is I then get them to go, all right, hey, I'll even tell them nowadays, hey, look, these 2 are needs. We don't need to talk about those too much. They're needs. They've got to be financially viable, they've got to have the right insurance. Okay. Then we'll say the normal stuff. All right, so this is a whole sort of area here, culture and passion and all that sort of thing. This is the proven track record, this is the people, whatever the other ones come up with, right? But then I'll be saying to them, which do you think is the most important? And remember the phrase for that is the same as it's always been, is if you could only choose one, what's it going to be? All right, so we'll come up with, in this case, they come up with, hey, 10 out of 10 for culture, then they drop down to proven track record, we give that a 9, and then we come down to here and an 8, and so on. But, so again, you've still got to come back to the basics, tell them why we're doing it. So the why is, this is how we're going to set up the evaluation criteria, even if it's a project with no evaluation in it, it's to help you prioritise. Is it more important to be on time, or is it more important to be on budget, or is it more important to get the right sort of fit for purpose outcome? And that varies from project to project. So it's about clarity. But in a procurement one, this is about setting the platform to come up with a winner. And so again, what we do next, just what we don't want, what we do want, shuffle the groups around. Then while they're doing that, I'm capturing it on the board. That gives me much better control. And it's quicker. It's much quicker as well. So that's it. So I hope you give it a go, and we'll see you next month.